Hey, how are y'all? Happy Saturday and welcome to Scared of Beautiful. My name is Plez. I hope you all have been enjoying this gorgeous day. I don't know where you are, but where I am, it is a very pretty day outside. We are in April. It is the first of the month. And ironically, it is April Fool's Day. So I thought that would be the perfect time to talk about all this foolishness that's going on with the Scott sisters and LaTocha and Rocky slash Edward Bivens and all of the stuff that has transpired since my last video. If you haven't checked out the last video, which I did, another woo child about Tamika's receipts, go check it out. It is good stuff, if I say so myself. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hello, Remain Teachable, Antoinette Paris, Symphony Love, of course, my fellow Louisianian, this 504 girl. Hey, y'all, Mrs. Wilson. Y'all, thank you so much for joining me. I be the she. Hey, girl. Some of my day one supporters, thank y'all for joining me. Faisa, hello. Y'all, okay. I'm not going to try to hold you too long, but I got to walk this on out the way that I like to do it. I was about to pre-record this video, and then I decided, you know what? It's Saturday. Let me just go live and really get into the nitty-gritty of what I think is going on, all right? So, like I said, I wanted to do this. I kind of wanted to do it yesterday, but I don't know about y'all, but when I work during the week, Fridays are my day. That's my day to unwind. That's my day to go out and have some drinks. And unless you're under a rock and you don't know, Louisiana is on the map. LSU, the girls' basketball team, was playing last night in the Final Four. So I went out to go support those young ladies. Shout out to them. They won. They will be in the NCAA National Championship tomorrow. And I'll be watching that too. And y'all should watch it too. These Black girls and others. But, we root for everybody Black over here. They're doing the dang thing. And so I went to support that last night. And I was like, I'll give y'all's video today. So yesterday, thank you, LaShawn Deneen, for becoming a member to the channel. Thank you guys. Y'all know I just got back started, so I haven't really been promoting memberships, anything like that. But thank you all for seeing the button, clicking it. Let me get this banner going. Everything that I say and get all the disclaimers out of the way. Everything that I say, y'all, is going to be my opinion based on all of these videos and interviews that the parties involved have given us. If I happen to talk about something that has some legal ramifications, it's never legal advice. I'm an attorney, allegedly. But it's not legal advice. It is only general legal knowledge. If you or your friends or family should happen to find yourself in any kind of these situations that Tasha and Rocky and parties are allegedly accused of, please make sure you consult your own attorney and don't say, Plez said, because Plez ain't say that. Plez is just giving you free game, a little knowledge that, maybe could help you in your personal private life, right? Let's get to it. So I'm taking a break yesterday at work. I walk on over, meaning scrolling with my hands, to the shade room, and I see these clips of Tasha bearing her soul, snotting and crying. I mean, I could not believe my eyes. This was the definition of the same thing that will make you laugh will make you cry, because she literally went from laughing to crying in 1 week. That's live footage, y'all. That is live footage, allegedly, of what Tasha did in this short span of time. Just a week ago, y'all. Literally. About a week ago. I love Bobby Schmurder. Just want to get that out there. She was out here clowning the girls, saying they can't sing, telling Tamika she's a liar, the truth ain't in her, show me the receipts. This event allegedly never happened. She doesn't know anything about money. She's the Beyonce of the group. She's the star, and everybody's just mad because she's on a come up. Like, her tone, some of that she did not change, even in her apology video. But she was very braggadocious. Very, I'm out here, I'm on the grind, and the girls are just mad because I'm about to leave them in the dust, right? She calls her sister a liar, alleged that she had some mental issues on the show that we're now watching, where all this stems from, SWV, Escape Queens of R&B. She said that she was possessed, allegedly. Like, she had all of this smoke. She was demanding apologies, wanting to see receipts. And now she is literally out here fighting for her life.
All my life I had to fight.
She fighting, y'all. She's swinging, windmilling all over the internet, trying to save whatever she can save from that gospel album, that gospel deal, y'all. And I don't know how successful she's going to be. You know, a lot of contracts tend to have morality clauses. And some of this stuff she pulls out in this apology video, in most Christians, if we're talking traditional Christians, and baby, Motown gospel is about as a traditional Christian label you can get to. Most traditional Christians are not, black ones at that, are not gonna go for all of this foolishness that's going on allegedly in Tasha's private life, right? So, like I said, today I'm just gonna get into a few clips from her apology. I'm not playing the whole video, y'all. I pulled the ones from the Shade Room and a couple more that I really want to highlight because I think they speak to the bigger picture of what's going on in this family. Y'all, I love you. Thank you so much for the support. I see the comments. Please excuse me if I don't necessarily address them. If there are any super chats, if I don't see them, because I want to get to it and I don't want to hold y'all forever. So, prior to the video, right, the timeline of all of this stuff, she released her ultimate, like, fake bootleg speak on it last week. Then she kept doing more interviews, adding gas to the fire. Everybody's lying on her. Tamika finally pulls out the big guns, pulls the receipts. The internet is on fire. She then, the next day, goes on Ricky Smiley. In my receipts video to Tamika, y'all will see at the end, I said Tasha needed to be contrite in heart and spirit. She did not do that. She decided to go on the Ricky Smiley show and double, triple, quadruple down, saying that everybody was lying on her. She never stole any $30,000. Rocky says he didn't steal it either. If you listen, you got to be careful with people like Rocky and Tamika because they play on words. Rocky said he never cashed a check. Sir, we know you didn't cash the checks. You deposited them. There's a difference, a small one. You know, you're playing semantics. You didn't cash the checks, allegedly. You deposited them into your bank account, which then converted them into yours. So if you want to play the game, okay, girl, You didn't cash them checks. You deposited those. We'll go. So as she's on the Ricky Smiley show, right? She starts going back and forth with Debrat about these allegations, and Debrat gives her opinion and like, girl, back in the 90s when I first came to Atlanta from Chicago, you were a mean girl to me. You were ugly to me. Everybody was scared of you. They only went with what you said because you were the oldest. And I could see that Candy, a lot of times being the youngest and being what she felt bullied, out overruled because of you and your sister, she felt sad all the time. And Tasha's just like, even though someone is literally sitting there giving her their honest perspective of her and her attitude back then, she's still denying all of it. Y'all, and this is a message to everyone. This is a lesson in self-awareness. Sometimes things may be hard for us to hear about ourselves, but if a lot of people are saying it, sometimes you got to take a step back and analyze. Maybe you don't intend to come off like that. Maybe you don't mean to be like that, but you are. If more people than not are saying it, that means you may need to do some self-work, sis. It's called self-awareness. It's called growth. I can honestly say for a large part of my life, I'm pretty introverted, y'all. So sometimes I'm not the most warm person when I first meet people because I'm studying the room. I want to know who you are, where you are, what your motives are. And to that point, then sometimes people are like, man, when I first met you, I thought you were really rude or standoffish. And I get it. But, life's lessons have taught me to be more guarded. However, I cannot use that as an excuse every time. I can't say, well, it's just me. Get over it. And I can't deny that that's how they perceive me. So if a lot of people, now I'm not saying like flat out hate, but if someone who's not even invested, Brad ain't invested in this, what does she have to lie for? Instead of Tasha taking it on the chin, she just wants to go at her neck and then is like, that defeatist body language. Oh, okay, Brad, you against me too. Girl, no one is against you. We telling you to get your crap together. That's it. That's all. Sorry for the rant. What was funny to me about that whole video, again, not going to show the whole thing, just a little clip. They go into asking Rocky about these alleged false allegations that he claims are false with the mistresses and his phone call with Tasha K. First, he wants to let all of us know that he was illegally recorded. Tasha K violated him, and now we're out here listening to something that never was supposed to be public. Well, sir, again, I keep telling you, Rocky, you're stuck in the 90s. Yesterday's music industry is not today's music industry. Now, Tasha K is akin to what basically Wendy Williams would have been in the 90s. Did you call Wendy Williams and think she wasn't recording you? Come on. If you are the person you say you are, the manager, the boss that you say you are, you should have known that Tasha K was going to be recording you. Now, as far as the legality of the situation, every state in this country has laws on phone recordings. Some states are one-party recording states, some are two. So it would actually depend on where Tasha K made the phone call. If she called you while she was in Georgia, she can absolutely record you. Why? Because Georgia is a one-party consent state. Only she needed to know that phone call was being recorded. If she called you in Florida, might be a little issue because Florida is a two-party consent state. You must let the other party know you are recording. However, at the end of the day, that's neither here nor there. That's not what they asked you. That's a classic blame shifting response. Let me divert their eyes over here to Tasha, because see, really, she was wrong. She wrong first. Before I say anything, I'm gonna say Tasha recorded me illegally. All right. And in that, as he starts to go, he, of course, denies everything, says everybody's lying against him. Then he tries to prompt the Brad to be his character witness. Let me show you.
Know me. I know you quiet over there now, but you know
I know.
me.
Whoa. I know you. What? What you saying?
I'm saying
what
you know me. You know.
I know what about you. I know what about.
Let's listen again. You know me.
You know me. I know you quiet over there now, but you know.
I know.
Me.
Whoa. I know you. What? What you saying?
I'm saying
what
you
you
know
saying?
me. You know.
I know what about you. I know what about.
Tasha chimes in too. You know him. Y'all got history. And Brad is over there telling those people.
I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
She don't know you, sir. Stop right there. She don't know you. Don't put her name in it, Tasha. Brad, is like, I'm not in it. Don't start this. You know me. How I know you? I know what about you? What are you trying to say? Brad let us all know very succinctly, straight no chaser, ma'am, sir, I don't know you like that. I may have known you back then, a little bit, but I don't know you like that now. I don't know nothing about these allegations. I don't know if you allegedly steal money. I don't know if you got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mistresses that allegedly have had multiple abortions. I don't know that. So stop right there. Right? So this interview takes place on Thursday morning, right? March 30th. Thank you so much, Nosy Rosie, for the super chat. Please, I'm a longtime fan and I love your commentary. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a day one supporter. So the Ricky Smiley interview that I just showed y'all, right, happened Thursday, March 30th. By noon, yesterday, Friday, March 31st, Tasha took to Instagram Live with a video where she is pleading to be left alone. Y'all, it's our fault. We have watched it. We've seen all the videos, all the interviews, but it's our fault because how dare we say anything to her. Now, I will say, y'all, if you have been, watching me for a minute, you will know that I always believe that some reality TV fans take it a little too far. I have been a long-time fan of reality TV. I have been on the internet probably as soon as my mama got me a computer and I had that AOL dial-up. And it's always very interesting to me because I watch stuff and I keep it moving. I watch these shows. I don't really follow any of the people in real life. It's not that serious to me. No shade if it is to you. But I'm always very interested in people who actually like go to the person's comments to degrade and berate them. So, but I know people do it. I personally think it's not a cool thing to do. But I mean, once you put it out there, people are going to be people. And you can't control society. You can't control the narrative. That's why it is uber important to know what you're putting out there. And to stop when you see that it's snowballing in a way that you can't control. Because once you do it, especially now with the way social media is, you can't stop that ball from rolling. And the things that you could do to stop the ball from rolling, or at least slow it down and get more people on your side, you're refusing to do. So I would advise that she maybe cut her comments off, that she doesn't, go in the DMs and let people, limit your stuff on Twitter. Limit who can reply to you. Don't go out watching the videos. I can say that, like, real talk. Don't do it. Because when you take that in, yeah, I can see it affecting her self-esteem. But more importantly, some of the stuff you kind of need to ingest a little bit. Nothing that's super like full of vitriol and hate. But sis, you need this come to Jesus moment. It's been a long time coming, honestly. And if you embrace it the right way and you take what you can use and chew and spit out the rest, you could have some real growth in your life, in my opinion, right? So, she's pleading with us to be left alone. It's everybody's fault but hers. She apologizes to Tiny, Candy, Tamika. She states her never-ending devotion to Rocky Child and other things. We'll get to that. And then she gaslights and chastises the audience for seeing through her BS. And then she ends crying and demanding that she wants her sister back. Thank you so much, Queen of Harlem, for the super chat. You're so beautiful. The lipstick like before is everything. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna show y'all now just the clips that I wanted to share that were salient to me. These ones from the Shade Room. Let's go.
So much controversy, so many allegations.
And so I just want to chime in here. It cut off the sound for whatever reason, but she starts by letting us know she just want to sing. Mama, I want to sing. She wants to, all she want to ever do is sing, and her desire to sing for the Lord has brought on all of this calamity and hardship in her life because the devil is alive and well. Let's get back to her words, though.
I'm like, where's all this stuff coming from? And I know that the enemy is busy. When you pray and you ask for God to bless you and to order your steps, it comes with scrutiny. It comes with peaks and valleys. And right now I'm in the valley, y'all. And y'all keep poking and y'all keep pushing and y'all keep talking. And I get it. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, but do keep in mind, I'm a human being just like y'all. And there's certain things in my life that I'm trying to straighten out. But how can I straighten things out with y'all poking and accusing me and convicting me? And I'm trying to find answers. I'm trying to find resolve. I can't even get to the resolve because every time I turn around, y'all saying things about me. What in the world am I doing to y'all?
I'll just stop right there and say, Tasha, you're not necessarily doing anything to us, but we're humans, just like you. And a lot of this is triggering for people, which is the only reason I will say I don't necessarily, I don't like, ain't no necessarily. I do not like seeing the turmoil that their family is in and watching it break down. However, I do see value, one, in Tamika finally having her voice and feeling supported enough to state her truth. Because according to her, she has not been able to do that her whole life, right? Two, I think this is important because a lot of times people struggle with these things themselves and do not know the names for the stuff that we're about to watch. Don't know what's going on. And I'm going to break it down for y'all in a little bit. But it is important, and more so, it's cathartic for so many people to know that it's just not them. Families have a lot of drama sometimes. And I can speak as a person who grew up in the Deep South, who very much was a church girl, that a lot of times in the Black community, the church not only fosters this type of abuse and mistreatment, but they also promote it. And to watch someone who says they want to do gospel music and be an inspiration to others, and to watch someone's mother send their daughter very, very emotionally and verbally abusive voice messages is triggering to a lot of people. So yes, you are human, but Tamika and all the other ladies that you have allegedly wronged over the years are human as well. So unfortunately, in this story, you're the villain. But again, if you look at it the right way, you can grow from this, right? Let's get back.
Me want everything to me and our son. And do we have problems? Are we perfect? No, we're not. Is he perfect? No, he's not. Am I perfect? I'm not perfect. I'm very much aware of the allegations that are happening about him. I see everything. As a wife, you see everything. But with our relationship.
So I just want to stop right there. In that clip, going back to the question that's presented in the title of this video, in my opinion, that is Tamika letting y'all know
you're just a fool, you know you're in love, what you say
is not a fool in love. She's not a fool in love. She just told y'all she knows everything that goes on. She knows everything that's going on with Rocky. So, girl, you got to know that ain't the flex that you think it is. Because when I hear that you know everything, to me, that means you know about the alleged mistresses, which she told us they have an open relationship. We'll get to that in a minute. But you know about the alleged aborted babies. You know about the alleged mail fraud, identity theft, stealing, the alleged blackmail with the alleged sex tapes. You know everything. So I keep seeing this narrative of Tamika, Rocky is just really doing a number on her and did a number on her. And, he's abusing her and manipulating her. I will say that I somewhat believe that happened when they met early on in the 90s. She has talked repeatedly about her low self-esteem, being called the big girl in the group. So I think Rocky got that and latched onto that early. But at this point, as she keeps saying, they've been married for 28 years. At this point, Tasha is not only a willing participant, in my opinion, an observant in the mess, in my opinion. She's a willing participant and instigator and initiator. She's a co-conspirator. She's not this soft damsel in distress. Oh my God. Well, my husband did. I mean, girl, you could have at least used this time to say Rocky did it all, but you didn't. You said you know everything. Because again, you got to prove to Rocky that you ride or die. That's my man, and I'm sticking beside him. This is the worst, most tragic Tammy Wynette crap I have ever seen in my life, y'all. And ultimately, if Tamika don't want to do no better, which I don't think she does, she likes it over there. She don't like it right now because she's catching the heat. But she's not going anywhere. She lets us know that. Let's get back to the video.
Some people keep the fact that they have an open relationship quiet. They want to keep it private. But we have that. And for us to be judged or whatever by the things that people are saying, y'all keep judging, y'all keep.
Open relationship. Now, again, I talked, before, I haven't seen her contract with Motown Gospel, but, I'll just say I've seen lots of contracts over the years, and lots of contracts have morality clauses, have clauses where if you are bringing, shame, bad attention to the corporation, they can cancel that contract, terminate it with the quickness. So part of this apology tour, I'm not going to show it, but part of this apology tour, she apologizes to Motown Gospel and the label and the rest of them because I don't think everything's so sweet over there right now. Doing this show probably wasn't a good look, sis.
Living, y'all got marriages. Everybody ain't going to always be true. Things happen. At the end of the day, do I stand by side my husband? I know, y'all think I don't know. I know everything. Everything.
See how intense she is in the camera on there? She looking y'all dead in y'all eyes. She know everything. You think she don't know, but she know. She knows everything. And y'all know they ain't in no open relationship. Rocky is open. She just, again, got low self-esteem and is going to sit there and let that man do any and everything to her. If he is out here allegedly making babies that have to be aborted repeatedly, that means that man is not using sexual protection. He is out here road dogging, excuse me, anybody's mama that's listening, including my own, women, and then coming back to her. And she's like, I know about it. We got an open relationship. It's one thing to be open, but you're not even going to protect yourself? Like, this is trash.
I'm not oblivious to things. My husband and I, what y'all don't understand, we do have an open relationship. We have spoken about things. That is my private business. Everything to me and our son. And for me and my sister, we're going to get it together. You know, I'm reaching out. I don't have the answers. I found out about a $30,000 allegation when I watched the TV with y'all.
Now, see, that's a silly lie. You found out about the allegation when you watched TV with us. You wasn't at the house filming with Tamika. At least say you found out about it when you were filming and she made the allegation in the house sitting on the couch with your mama. You didn't just find out about this on TV, man, which again lets me know that Rocky is not the manager that you think he is. Because this show, I think they said it was filmed like April to August or something, last summer, basically, of 2022. So that means you knew Bravo had footage of this. And you didn't, in the very least, try to get in front of it, ma'am. I implore you to loose that demon named Rocky Edward Bivens and get you some new management. Because this is not it. You cannot bury your head in the sand on this one. And that's what you're trying to do, and then gaslight us to make us think we don't see what we see, and we see it. Keep going.
Did I take my sister's money? I did not. We were going through so much 10, 11 years ago together as a family. It was one of the things that, I can't lie, we were both at our lowest. We didn't have money. We all lived with my mother.
Now, again, this is the little nuanced stuff that you gotta watch. Why are you putting Tamika's business out there about where she was living and that she was at her lowest? Tell your story. Don't tell Tamika's story. But you're trying to make it seem like we always been down for each other. We went through the struggle together. We both was at my mama's house. I'm sure that was a living hell to be stuck as a grown woman with you and your mama and Rocky under one roof, allegedly. But we didn't need to know that. But, you know, again, this is what you do. Throw your sister under the bus.
And that's something that, you know, y'all will see on the show where we say that I didn't have anywhere to live. We didn't. And we pulled through. So when you talk about 30,000 that I don't know anything about, all I said is, can we get clarity about it? Because during that time
Ma'am, that's not all you said. You did not ask for clarity. You said, one, it never happened. Two, she was a flat out liar. Then when you did the Queens of Cocktails interview, then it became you needed clarity. But please believe you have vehemently, continuously said that this girl was lying. Next.
we both were helping one another. I just need clarity. What are you seeing? What are you saying? Because I have my receipts and you have yours. But we need to sit.
Okay, that's not as nasty. But she also, y'all, again, there's this low-key threat because you have your receipts and I have mine. Well, you pulled the girl's card and tried to punk her and asked her to show the receipts. You, because you're used to being the big sister, big bad bully, did not think Tamika would ever get the nerve to finally stand up to you and pull your card and hold your feet to the fire and get it done. So she released her receipts, right? Tamika keeps saying Tasha is now saying she has her own receipts. While you sitting here snotting and crying on this video, you could have been showing us the receipts. All of your denials have been very general, very basic. You have no evidence. You asked Tamika for her evidence. She has presented her evidence, so you should counter with your evidence. Now, like I told y'all, I'm an attorney allegedly, and one thing that I like to do, I'm very kind of just naturally inquisitive. So, Tamika presented her receipts. That is only one side of the story. Although I fully believe Tamika, I like to go on a hunt for what we call corroborating evidence, right? Corroborating evidence is extraneous evidence from another source that supports the evidence that you already have. So when I went on my little search, y'all, let me show you one thing that I found to be very interesting. So let's look right quick at one of Tamika's receipts. Tamika posted this page, which was section 1, the payee information that she alleges her sister changed the address on. So her sister and or Rocky. So the payee information is Tamika Scott. The address, which Tamika says was her sister's address in Fayetteville, Georgia. Then the email address, goldengirlgyrlmusic@gmail.com. And Tamika alleges this is Tasha's email address. So I found an article back in the day. This allegedly happened in 2012, 2013, right? The alleged theft of the $30,000 in royalties. So I remembered that, Tasha has been trying to go single and release music. I mean, not single, solo and release music for a very long time. So I found this article where Tasha did an interview, right? Back in 2012, she was releasing a mixtape called Truth in the Booth. She did an interview with this lady called the Hip Hop Diva. This was back when blogs were still all the rage, so this is on WordPress. In this article, you can see it on the screen, and I'll link it in my description when the video is finished. Hip Hop Diva says, this year you launched your Golden Girl Foundation, GYRL. What made you start this foundation, and why did you decide to spell girl with a Y instead of an I? LaTocha Scott responds, I've always been the type of person that wants to come in differently. Even when I named the group Escape, I felt that we were different and I put the X in front. I'm never following the norm. I always try to think outside the box. Golden Girl is very dear to my heart. It's one of those foundations that really magnifies self-love and self-esteem. I had low self-esteem being the big girl. My nieces would come over to my house and they would bring their friends, and I would be so amazed at how many of these girls just don't even love themselves. I would sit down with them and be like, what's going on with you? We have long conversations. They would want to come back and spend the night, and I'll cook and stay all night, and that's how it came about, right? So as we see here, Golden Girl Foundation is LaTocha Scott's foundation. And she was talking about it around the time that these 30,000 alleged dollars was stolen. And it's the Golden Girl, GYRL, foundation, the other thing I want to say is you always been, in my opinion, LaTocha Scott, really, really shady and disrespectful to your family. You only have, to our knowledge, that you acknowledge, because you don't deal with your daddy, you only have one sister. And you sit here and say, my nieces would come over to my house and they would bring their friends. And I would be so amazed at how many of these girls just don't even love themselves. So you are sitting here basically saying that your nieces had low self-esteem. And that's what prompted you to start this foundation. Tamika's kids. You couldn't just make that generic and say, I encounter a lot of young girls and I hear them and I see myself in them. And I can see sometimes that they're struggling with self-love or self-esteem. Your nieces, girl. Okay. So let's get back to the video. That's just a little corroborating evidence that I wanted to add to Tamika's good evidence to show y'all, to show y'all that this Golden Girl music very likely was LaTocha's email address. And as she just said in her crying apology video, she knows everything with Rocky. So, to answer the question that was presented, do I think Tasha is a fool in love or a master manipulator? I think y'all can tell I am on the master manipulator side, but let's see more. Let's see more.
As sisters, and not go through this. But me and my sister, we're going to get it together. Social media. Like, on social media, it's not good. We need to sit down and figure out what this is, because we can get through anything, but we have to communicate. We have to talk to one another, because you can't get through anything without that. And I've been convicted already of being a thief, and I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, ma'am, let's stop there. You have not been convicted. We don't believe you, but you haven't been convicted. And let me tell you why you haven't been convicted. Convicted is a very strong word. And I keep seeing people saying where Tamika should just, prosecute her. Tamika didn't, because out of her love and, what she felt was undying loyalty, being a ride or die for her family. And at this point, unfortunately, Tamika cannot press criminal charges against LaTocha. She also cannot sue LaTocha in civil court to get the money back. So unfortunately, the only type of justice that she kind of can get at this point is putting it out all on Front Street and letting the public decide, right? Again, this is public information. This is general legal knowledge, y'all, for you all to use as you should choose. But in Georgia, the civil statute of limitations, which means suing her in court to get her money back, right? For fraud, it's 2 years. So if this happened around 2012, 2013, that statute of limitations is passed. It's from the time you become aware of the alleged fraud. It could also fall under some type of injury to personal property because of all of the identity theft and conversion and making fake email addresses, but that's 4 years. So she's out of the statute of limitations on that one, right? Then if we look at the statute of limitations on a criminal basis, she also, at this point, could not file, likely, I'll say that, but based on my opinion, she definitely cannot file any criminal charges because the Georgia criminal statute of limitation states that, so you have some things that have no time limit, right? Offing somebody, no limit. Taking forcible, what that word says, 15 years. Any other crimes that might be punishable by death or life imprisonment must be started within 7 years, right? So all of these alleged crimes probably would not carry a life sentence. But even if it did, 7 years would have been the limit. Then cases for misdemeanors must be started within 2 years. Sometimes when this doesn't apply, they aren't a resident of Georgia. They are residents of Georgia. The identity is unknown. She knew the identities of the people that she alleged stole her money. Crime is unknown. She knew all of this, right? And then if you are a guardian or trustee charged with theft by conversion of your ward or beneficiary, meaning you're stealing from your child or someone, who the court has determined to be a ward of the state or your beneficiary, right? So none of that applies. So I know y'all mean well, but she can't sue them at this point. At this point, she should be working on moving forward and making the money that she needs to make for her and her family, right? Let's finish this video and get to the next.
Online, but Tamika, we both have receipts. We both have receipts. Let's just get through it. What is this? How do we maneuver? How do we get through this? Whatever it is, Tamika, we can resolve.
Hold on. I didn't mean to take that out.
This is not nothing that we...
I just want to pause there for a minute. Bab says she was in New York when that happened, not Atlanta. That's debatable, right? Tamika would have to prove that she was in New York. Tasha, although we don't believe Tasha is stating that Tamika lived in Georgia this whole time. So unless Tamika could prove that she was in New York when it happened, however, at some point she did return to Georgia, and in my opinion, the statute of limitations has definitely run all around. Even if she moved back, if she's been in Georgia for more than 2 to 4 years and she still knew about it and didn't bring it up, it's dead. But she can get her money back in other ways. Her sister can graciously give it back to her as she said she would. Or she can do what she's doing now. Y'all go over to Tamika Scott's YouTube page and run up her views so she can get her money from YouTube. Run up her seasonings. If the seasonings are out there on the website or the cookbooks, we can make her whole. It's not the same, but it'll help something, right? Hey, LaTocha, I'm sorry I missed your super chat. I said it kind of early on that I want to just, I'm trying to run through all this stuff and get it done because it's a lot, sis, but I really do apologize. Let me try to find it. All right, I found it. I need people to stop saying Rocky made her like this. This started way before him. Mama G created this monster and Rocky feeds it. Toya, I completely agree. She is not the innocent person that we think her is, right? That some people want to paint her to be. So I completely agree. And y'all, again, I really apologize if I miss any super chats. I still got I did an outline on how I wanted to address this because it's a lot and I want to make sure I get all the points that I want to make. So after I finish, then I can try to go back to anything that I missed. But thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. All right, let's get through the rest of these clips.
Need to perpetuate and continue to move and make people feel away. This is us. We sisters. We've never not been able to talk about anything ever. And I don't feel like because of what's going on in this media that we should use this platform to down one another or to try to make each other feel less than. That's not what this is. But
you used it to talk about everybody's singing voice and how long it allegedly took them to be in the studio and you're the best and you're the greatest. So don't flip that and try to make it like these ladies are the only ones who's using this platform to down people. You are engaging and have engaged in this very much so, Tasha.
We're supposed to be family. And I want my family social media. Like on social media, it's not good. We need back. I don't care about nothing else. And I've always said that I don't care about what people say. It's about what I feel like with my sister, how she feels. And I apologize to you, Tamika, if I didn't hear you. If I didn't hear your voice, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to make it. I'm trying to weather storms in my own personal life. It's like I'm not trying to negate how y'all's feelings are. It's like I have to still have peace within. I got to be able to understand how to move. I don't have all the answers. Being a big sister, you don't have all the answers. Sometimes I make mistakes. I'm human. But with us, we have to resolve this. This cannot dampen or drag us out or make us feel like we don't love each other. We love each other. The love is never going to go. Love doesn't just, you can't throw love away. You just can't throw it out the window because something comes on, and you have a hiccup in the road. That's not what this is. I love you with all of my heart.
Now, y'all, that whole little diatribe, her message to Tamika, who does that sound like? If we've been watching the SWV and Escape show, that whole glaring into the camera, sending this sincere message, who does that sound like? That sounds like none other than G to the L to the O, Big Glow. Yes, Big Gloria. I don't know if y'all like Glorilla. I do. And it just so happened that the Sky Sisters' mama name is Gloria too. But this scene sounds just like when Tamika confronted Gloria at her house. Miss Scott, excuse me, let me not be disrespectful in that manner. I will address her as such, Mama Scott. And Tamika puts her foot down and says, I'm gonna have to step back and create some boundaries here. And her mama grabs her face and says, I love you. I'm sorry if you think I've been a better mama to Tasha than I've been to you. It's giving very much an apple that doesn't fall far from the tree. You are your mother's child, Tasha. You sounding just like your mama.
With all of my heart back. I don't care about nothing else. And I want my sister. I love you. Let's talk. I love you.
It's also always very funny to me when people can't hang up right from doing lives. I get it, sis. I do this sometimes too when I'm trying to end my YouTube videos. It's like, wait. Look, at the end of the day, this all is very heavy. I got a little bit more that I want to focus on. This is that was what the Shade Room had, and then I saw the big video, and there were a couple of things that I wanted to pull out from that video, right? So this part of the video, Tamika talks about, this is when she was going off on us, the viewing public, for convicting her, chastising her, and, telling her she's wrong and how she treats her sister.
I feel like I'm by myself. That I am alone, and nobody wants to feel like that. Nobody. I just wanted to sing.
Well, again, Tasha, it's not about you wanting to sing. It is how you go about doing it. You use the group to try to elevate, and then when you think you have elevated, you crap on the group. You don't want to be involved. You want to take your ball and you want to go home. And then you say that you feel alone. Well, the good things is feelings are not always facts, and you definitely not alone. You're not alone. Fun fact, Robert Kelly wrote that song for Michael Jackson. And as we know, Rocky Bivens tells anybody who will listen, he started out working for Robert Kelly. So the circle of life is always circling, right? Tasha's not alone. As she let us know, she has Rocky in her corner, been in her corner, been about her, always gonna be about her. You have your mama, you have your son, you have those road managers and friends. I hope you still have those, because remember, you went off with them and left Tamika stranded outside of a concert that had allegedly just had a shooting. So you have people. The public is not on your side right now, but you have people. So again, I suggest you block out the public for the most part and, clean cling to your circle. Although, in my opinion, Rocky should not be a part of that circle anymore, because all he does is encourage you in this victimhood. He also gaslights and feeds your delusions. If I hear that she is the Beyonce of the group one more time, I'm going to scream. But yeah, you got people. You're not alone. So stop trying to make us feel bad, which, again, some of y'all should feel bad. Don't be in people's comments doing all that. But cut them comments off, girl. But also, yeah, no, you're not alone. We don't, Then Tasha goes on to complete her apology tour, or continuing her apology tour, by apologizing to her mother. Let's look at that video.
Apologize to my mother as well, because you have been scrutinized for being a mother. You were there when nobody else was, and you've always been able to get us together. And the way that I see you being dragged in this media, it hurts me. Nobody wants to see their mother dragged in the media because of what they see depicted on television, which, by the way, everything that y'all see is not what it seems. It is not what it seems. And my mother and my sister and I, we have had a very strong bond. And to see that tarnished in an industry that needs to see love and support, that bothers me. It angers me.
So with this part, it's so many things, right? You're saying you and your sister and your mom had a very strong bond all of these years. If you are listening to your sister is telling you you all did not. She always felt like an outcast. She acquiesced to you all and your desires because she wanted to feel love. And as far as the industry needing to see love and support, we see what we see. And it's what really bothers me about these types of patterns, and where I feel really sad for people, and I want people to break, Lord, out of these bonds more, especially in the Black community. The manipulation that we see from Miss Gloria, that is not love. Oh, get it through y'all heads. It ain't love. And I know some of y'all don't like when I say y'all. If it ain't you, don't worry about it. If it don't apply, let it fly. Being a ride or die for somebody, doing anything and everything they want you to do, is not love. In this world, we need to be sometimes chastised in love. We, in order to grow as people, in order to be of good character, of strong mind, right? To be an empathetic person, to be a compassionate person, sometimes you need to be checked on your stuff. Sometimes someone who actually loves you needs to say, hey girl, this ain't good. What you're doing is not right. You need to work on X, Y, and Z. Right? Not someone who supports you in all your BS. That's a yes man and or woman. And those are the first people who will abandon you when all of this is said and done. Again, if you want an example, look at Robert Kelly. Look at all those people who went on that Dream Hampton documentary, Surviving R. Kelly. Former managers, former security people, former dancers, all of these people who all throughout the 90s and the 2000s were right there watching everything that happened. Some of them probably highly, allegedly participating. But when the tides start to change, it's, oh my God, he really needed help. Y'all were the ones who were supposed to get him the help. Y'all were the ones, but nah, you was too busy worried about your pockets, worried about the next check, wanting to be in the entourage that you did not have, right? The strength, the courage, the personal integrity to stand up and say, nah, dog, you wrong. And if you don't stop, I'm going to call you in. This happens all the time in life, but definitely in the music industry. Tasha, for all intents and purposes, has been looked at as the breadwinner. She does have a great voice. And her mama and Rocky, in my opinion, latched on to that because what they thought that would provide for them. You know, you gonna blow up and give mama a bigger house. You know, because they lay that on you. All those obligations. She's the breadwinner of the family. She has acknowledged this herself. So they have a vested interest in keeping you the way you are because it feeds them. I want you to learn that, sis. I need you to get that. Pray to get that spirit off of you because it's deep within you, right? So one thing I want to bring up, just another disclaimer, I am not a psychologist, right? I do have a psychology degree and a social work degree, but more importantly, I am a people watcher. I have been obsessed since I was like 15, 16, when I took my first psychology class in high school, with why people do the things that they do. It fascinates me. I want to know why are we like the way we are? And I feel like it's very important, and it's the only way we grow as people, by learning. Sometimes you don't have to experience things yourself. You can experience and learn just by viewing and watching other people, right? Okay, so that's my little disclaimer, because what I'm finna pull up, I'm not diagnosing anyone with anything, because I don't have the position to be able to do that, nor would I do that in a professional capacity if I could. But what I do see are certain patterns, and clear patterns that, again, I feel they may apply to this situation, but if they don't, it's just some good knowledge that some of you all can use in your life, and you may see transpire in your own life or your own family, right? So one clear pattern that I see going on with Tamika and her mother and Tasha, you know, in that video, she said, you are getting all of this hardship and grief online for just being a mother. That's not why she's getting criticized, sis. It's the type of mother she is presenting as. She presents as a very toxic mother. She presents as a dysfunctional mother. She presents as a narcissistic mother, right? And when we start talking about narcissistic mothers, usually when narcissistic mothers have children, they have particularly two children, right? This is unfortunately like a perfect storm in Tamika and Tasha's situation. You have what's called the scapegoat and golden child relationship or phenomenon, right? So I'm gonna give y'all just some little information about what that looks like to be the golden child and the scapegoat. So I got it on the screen for you all to read. Let me see if I need to make it bigger. Sorry. All right. So this is from the website called Daughters of Narcissistic Mothers, Golden Child and Scapegoat. It's very common for narcissistic mothers to have a golden child and scapegoat dynamic going on in their family. What this means is this: one child in the family is the golden child. Hence, in my opinion, Golden Girl Foundation and Golden Girl music. And one or more is the scapegoat. The golden child, as the name suggests, is the best and most wonderful child, at least in the eyes of the narcissistic mother. It seems to be that the narcissistic mother picks the golden child to be an extension of herself, onto whom she projects all her own supposed wonderfulness. The golden child can do no wrong. She gets given the best of everything, perhaps even apartments or houses bought for her. Her most minor achievements are celebrated and held up for admiration. Her misdemeanors are glossed over and ignored. The scapegoat, on the other hand, is also, as the name suggests, the person on whom all the ills of the family are projected. They can do no right. Their major achievements are dismissed. Any money spent on them is the bare minimum and is spent begrudgingly. Growing up, the scapegoat can understandably feel very jealous of the golden child. This, of course, leads to friction between the children, which suits the narcissistic mother. Divide and conquer and all that, and lots of opportunities for triangulation. Indeed, the golden child can be encouraged by the narcissistic mother, either overtly or tacitly, to bully the scapegoat, which adds to the friction. Right? So, that's just a brief overview on what the scapegoat and golden child dynamic is. But I found another article that I wanted to share with you all that gets a little bit deeper into it and that I felt really had some parallels with this situation. All right. It says it's from Medium and it's called medium.com, and it's called "Is It Better to Be the Scapegoat or the Golden Child?" This writer says that all members of a narcissistic family have their own separate and equally painful experience. In this difficult environment, siblings become hostile and rivalry is amped to toxic levels. Narcissistic parents do nothing to adjudicate, soothe, or demonstrate good boundaries. Relationships are purely instrumental, transactional, and often exploitative, both within the family and outside it. Sometimes the golden child can become another narcissist, indoctrinated into the worldview of the damaged parent. The chosen one absorbs emotional damage alongside the attention. Despite what most scapegoats will tell you, the golden child are usually the more severely traumatized in narcissistic families. But all of the trauma is on the inside. Because they are closer to the parent, golden children are more vulnerable to the unconscious processes that create the generational trauma at the heart of narcissism. So, for me, this is a big reason why watching all of this is important. That last sentence, the cycle of intergenerational trauma that perpetuates narcissism. And in my opinion, from what we're seeing on this show and everything else that's playing out, LaTocha has definitely picked up these traits and is continuing to perpetrate these narcissistic traits through her relationship with her sister. I can honestly say that I'm kind of glad that they had a boy child, because I feel that if she had a girl as well, you would likely see the same thing at play with her son and her daughter if she were to have one, right? I always want to also give y'all, look, there's always hope in this world. It's not all bad. We learn, we grow. So one really good resource, if you think you are a daughter or child of a narcissistic mother, there's a great book by Dr. Carol McBride, who's a PhD, and it's called "Will I Ever Be Good Enough? Healing the Daughters of Narcissistic Mothers." It's a great book. It's over on Amazon, Kindle, audiobook, all that stuff. So if y'all think you or someone you know would maybe benefit from that, go check it out. Yeah. About to wrap it up. But in my opinion, y'all, Tasha's not a fool in love. The apology, I guess maybe it was a good start, but not really, because you were still gaslighting and blaming other people throughout the video. But maybe it was a step towards having a contrite heart and spirit. But I still kind of feel like the spirit of manipulation, hypocrisy, and narcissism is very strong over there in the LaTocha household. I'm talking strong, y'all. Strong. Like
Hercules.
That strong. Sorry, y'all. I needed to throw something in there because all of that information was very heavy and dense, and you know, at the end of the day, I just want us to get through this stuff, laugh a little bit, but, you know, use it to help and grow your own families. I pray that Tamika really stands her ground and is able to see herself through this cycle of abuse, because that's what it is. We literally see it playing out right now, right? This is another great resource that I found from Mind Journal. And again, you can see if this is at play in some of your own relationships. It's called the Narcissist Cycle of Abuse. I love a good mind map flow chart. I'm a person who likes visuals. And unfortunately, we have seen this cycle of abuse at play throughout this show. One, tension building. It's when tensions increase, there's a breakdown of communication. The victim becomes fearful and feels the need to placate the abuser. In my opinion, based on Tamika's version of how she's felt her whole life, I think she's been in a tension building stage pretty much her whole life. Going back and forth between the calm stage, the reconciliation stage, and the tension building stage. And where we came in on the conversation, they were in the tension building stage of that argument and fight at their mother's house. Then the next thing is number 2, the incident. There's verbal, emotional, and physical abuse, anger blaming, arguing, threats, intimidation. Well, we have definitely seen all of that, right? Tamika had her blow up, you stole my money, and that led to all types of pointing fingers, blaming, arguing, alleged threats, and alleged attempts to intimidate her by virtue of saying somebody is going to allegedly release her sex tape that only Tasha and Rocky had access to, that she must give an apology to Tasha and her mother. So lots of this going on, right? And number 3, reconciliation. That's what was at play yesterday in Tasha's good old video. In my opinion, the abuser apologizes, gives excuses, blames the victim, denies the abuse ever occurred, or says that the abuse wasn't as bad as the victim claims. These narcissists, honey. Unfortunately, I've had my fair share of dealing with them, more so on the male side, but also a couple of females. And female narcissism is much harder to spot for most people because by nature, people don't think that women are manipulative like this, right? Women are nurturers and, you know, all these warm, wonderful things. So it's sometimes harder to spot a female narcissist. And then stage number 4 is the calm stage, where the incident is all of a sudden forgotten, no abuse is taking place, and you're back in this honeymoon phase. So Tasha's, put out her offer for reconciliation. Honestly, I hope Tamika does not just take the apology at face value. Apologies are great, words are great, but they're only great when they come with changed action. That's what we need to see from you, Tasha. We also need to see an actual genuine apology where you're taking full ownership of the things that you have allegedly done, and make a true effort to make things right with your sister. But like I said, I hope that Tamika stands her ground. She's gotten this off of her chest, and I feel like she should move forward in her own life. The world is behind you. Push that seasoning, girl. Push those cookbooks. Go on these tours. Celebrate Escape's 30th year in music. Sing these songs like we know you can sing them, and really show what you bring to the table. I think reconciliation could be possible for these sisters. I pray that they do reconcile. I don't want to see families broken apart like this, but I think it can only be possible after some time, after a true apology, and some real therapy. And again, they're deep in church. So I know their mother is probably not going to be welcome to a therapist. They only want to go talk to the pastor. Pastor is a biased person and does not need to lead any therapy sessions. Pastor could pray at best, but it depends on what pastor is praying for, because people love one more thing I'm going to show. I think this is the last thing I wanted to bring up, and I meant to bring it up earlier when I was talking about the mother. But in the church, we love to talk about honor thy mother and thy father, honor thy mother and thy father. And absolutely, you are supposed to honor your mother and your father. But they forget the rest of the verse in Ephesians. Children and parents, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your mother and father, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with you and you may live long on the earth. And you, fathers, and it should have said mothers in parentheses, but we know this patriarchal society, whatever. But for all intents and purposes, it's the parents as well. So fathers and mothers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in the training and admonition of the Lord. That is what so many people miss when they constantly try to manipulate people with scripture and say, honor your mother and father, honor your mother and father. The verse also says that the father and mother should not provoke their children to wrath. That means you have to be careful how you treat your children as well. You can see that Tamika has been fighting her whole life with honoring her mother, and has been poked and prodded, and in my opinion, provoked to when she finally just had to let it all go. And I do not fault her for that at all. So with that being said, depending on what the pastor is praying for, but at no point should pastor be the therapist. They need an actual therapist. And as much as I joke, or not even joke, I love Iyanla, but Iyanla is not appropriate for all situations. In this situation, I honestly don't think that they need Iyanla. They need some other older black lady, or this is gonna be, sorry y'all, a little controversial, maybe. A white lady. And I know, all black everything. Why are we getting white ladies? Well, part of having effective therapy is that, especially when you have people who don't want to be there anyway, you need people who are truly unbiased and ideally don't know none of y'all. So we need somebody from a generation in time or culture, life circumstance that knows nothing about escape, that knows not a thing about LaTocha and Tamika Scott. They haven't been in this whirlwind with us on the internet for the last 4 weeks. We need someone who thinks an escape is someone who, ran from the prison or went on a little weekend getaway. That's all they need to know about escape. Because if not, Tasha has this persecution mindset where she feels everybody is against her anyway. That's what happened with the whole thing with Ricky Smiley and Brad. She thought that, oh, well, Brad, you know me. And Brad is like, yeah, I do, but I had a similar experience with you, sis. So it needs to be a completely third party. And maybe with some of those steps, right, there could be reconciliation at the appropriate time with this group. As far as Tasha is concerned, really, girl, all I can say at this point is,
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. When you go to bed at night, you lay there and you take responsibility for yourself, because nobody's going to take responsibility for you.
Tyra said it best. Learn from this. Go home. Sit with yourself. Matter of fact, don't even go home. Go to whatever your safe space is. if and ideally your safe space in nature. If that's out by a lake or out on the beach, somewhere where you can ground yourself and put your feet in the dirt and really listen. Get away from the sounds and the noises, cut them comments off. Take your Bible if you want, or just have a little talk with Jesus. He hears us. You don't need the Bible all the time. Right? Get back to your core and be honest and objective and try to seek self-awareness where you can be honest with yourself and look at the part you've played in this whole catastrophe, right? That's really it, y'all. Those are my thoughts. I hope they can get it together. But unfortunately, Tiny and Tamika, is it Tamika? I think more so Candy keeps saying that in these last 2 episodes, because there are only 2 more episodes left of this show, y'all, SWV and Escape, Queens of R&B. There are only going to be 2 more episodes, and Candy is letting us know that there's still some allegedly explosive stuff that they're about to show with Rocky, specifically. Which, by virtue is also Tasha. So hopefully, I'm tired, y'all. And that is why, if y'all are new here, thank you so much. I see the support. I see the comments. I hope you all have liked the video. I'm in StreamYard, so I can't see what's going on over there on YouTube, but like the video, subscribe to the channel. I hope you all enjoyed this hour and 20 plus minutes of your life. I know I get flat because it's like, your videos are so long, but sometimes I try to do short things. And look, I like to get into this stuff. It really feeds my inner people person of breaking down how we are, but genuinely in my heart, I really want these sisters to get together, but not at the expense of one sister. I want them both to, figure it out. Amber, thank you so much for the super chat. Maybe I'm or missing something, but if a check for 30K was sent to Tamika, did Tasha get her own as well? I would think so. But as, Rocky said in his phone call with Tasha K, Tamika knew that wasn't for her. That was Tasha wrote all the Thug Holiday and stuff. So his dumb self still thinks those were writers' royalties. I broke that down in my Devil is in the Details video, where sound exchange is not just for writers. They are, more importantly, performance royalties from streaming services and online digital performances. So it's actually a great thing because it's a passive way for performers to earn income when their songs are being streamed all over Pandora, Spotify, all of these places. So, they have never addressed whether or not Tasha got her own piece of the pie. I would think she did, since Miss Diane, Tiny's mom, says she signed all 4 girls up for the money. But yeah, I think that's all, y'all. I don't know what you're doing today, but like I said, it is a gorgeous day outside. This stuff is very heavy. And that's why, y'all, sometimes I don't do videos. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna chase every interview, it's just not me. There are tons of great YouTube channels that break down everything that pops up and that's going on. But honestly, it's a lot, and I'm invested in it, but not that invested, and I just can't keep up sometimes. So if I'm really passionate about something, which clearly I was passionate about this, I will definitely chime in and give my opinion. But I thank you all so much for supporting me, for subscribing to the channel. I took a very long hiatus, but I'm back, and I thank you all for the support. Now, just like I told Tamika, Tasha, I want y'all to get out, enjoy this day, ground yourselves. Do something fun for you. Breathe the fresh air. Go get your favorite meal. Do some self-love today. All of this toxicity, it gets into you, and we don't want to keep this ick on us. And I know I'm not going to keep it on me. So I'm about to probably go see what the decorate shop is hitting for. And get ready to, what's coming on tonight? Maybe Love and Marriage, the reunion for Love and Marriage DC. It hasn't been the best, but yeah, I try to support Black too. Oh, they're re-showing Insecure, so if you want to watch that, there's that. I also need to watch the Power episode because people are over there on Facebook spoiling it left and right, and I haven't seen it yet. So yeah, and I'm behind on my Law and Order, y'all. So I was out last night celebrating Team LSU. Y'all, support these ladies tomorrow. National championship. Shout out to all the Louisiana girls, particularly the ones with Mississippi roots. Shout out to Mississippi. And thank you all so much. I apologize if I missed any super chats, but I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.